The 2025 Honda NC750X has arrived, and it continues to prove why this motorcycle has such a dedicated following around the world. For years, the NC series has been celebrated as a versatile, reliable, and practical bike that bridges the gap between commuting, touring, and everyday fun. This year's model doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, but it refines what's already one of Honda's most well-rounded machines. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into every aspect of this bike, from the way it looks, to how it rides, to what's going on under the seat, and of course, whether it's worth your hard-earned money in 2025. Starting from the front, the bike greets you with a sharp, modern face that balances aggression with Honda's signature subtlety. The LED headlights sit tucked neatly under a slightly redesigned windscreen that offers more aerodynamic efficiency and a cleaner look. The daytime running lights are bright and very visible, giving the NC750X an unmistakable presence on the road. The front end feels upright and purposeful, with just enough of an adventure bike influence to signal that this motorcycle is more than just an urban commuter. The suspension, with its telescopic front fork, sits firmly but not harshly, giving confidence whether you're navigating potholes in the city or winding roads in the countryside. And when you stand back and take in the overall stance from the front, the NC750X gives you that unmistakable middleweight Honda look, accessible, friendly, but with just enough edge to keep things interesting. Moving to the side, the true personality of this bike starts to shine through. The NC750X is known for its upright riding position, its tall stance, and its practical design. You immediately notice the long, flowing lines that make it look sleek yet approachable. The seat height is accessible to a wide range of riders, and Honda has cleverly kept the proportions balanced so that shorter riders won't feel intimidated, while taller riders still get plenty of comfort and legroom. The sculpted fuel tank area, which famously isn't actually a fuel tank but a built-in storage compartment, remains one of the NC's biggest talking points. That compartment is big enough to fit a full-face helmet or other gear, which means you can skip the backpack on most rides. The side profile also highlights the dual-clutch transmission option, with subtle but noticeable design elements that hint at its technology. The side view truly tells the story of the NC750X, a motorcycle built for real-world usability, with just enough adventure styling to make it stand out against typical street bikes. Looking at the rear, the bike continues its minimalist and practical philosophy. The LED taillight is cleanly integrated, giving the bike a crisp and modern finish. The back end is slim and efficient, making it easy to mount luggage or panniers if you plan on touring. The exhaust sits neatly tucked to the side, low enough to not interfere with accessories but styled just enough to not look boring. Honda has always been good at keeping their designs clean, and the NC750X's rear is a good example of that balance. It doesn't scream for attention, but it looks polished and functional. From the back, you also notice the comfortable split-seat setup. The passenger section is supportive, and the rider's seat is shaped for longer journeys without putting strain on your hips or lower back. Now, let's talk about what makes this bike truly tick: the engine. At the heart of the 2025 NC750X is a 745cc parallel twin that's been tuned for smooth torque delivery and fuel efficiency. This is not a bike built to set speed records, and Honda knows that. Instead, it delivers steady, usable power throughout the rev range, making it an absolute joy for daily commuting and longer weekend rides. The engine produces around 57 horsepower and roughly 50 pound-feet of torque, numbers that may not sound wild on paper, but in practice, they translate into a bike that feels responsive, reliable, and confidence-inspiring. Honda has refined the engine mapping this year to make throttle response smoother, particularly at lower speeds where stop-and-go traffic often tests a rider's patience. The sound is classic Honda, refined and subdued, but with a low, pleasant note that won't tire you out on longer journeys. The real magic of this bike comes with the option of Honda's dual-clutch transmission. Riders can choose between the standard 6-speed manual or the DCT, which allows for both automatic shifting and manual control via handlebar triggers. The DCT system has been further improved for 2025 with quicker, more intuitive gear changes, making it perfect for riders who want convenience without sacrificing control. In automatic mode, the system adapts to your riding style, holding gears longer when you're riding aggressively and shifting smoothly when you're cruising. For riders who want more engagement, manual mode puts the gear changes at your fingertips. The combination of the parallel twin engine and the DCT transmission makes the NC750X one of the easiest middleweight motorcycles to live with. Performance-wise, This is a motorcycle that excels in balance rather than extremes. The top speed hovers around 125 miles per hour, but realistically, most owners will never push it that far. Where the NC750X shines is in its ability to handle everyday situations with grace. Whether you're accelerating onto a highway, cruising at 70, or carving through a twisty road, the bike feels planted and predictable. Fuel efficiency is another major highlight. Riders can expect around 65 to 70 miles per gallon, which means you get excellent range from its relatively small 3.8-gallon tank. That efficiency has always been one of the NC750X's strongest selling points, and it continues to make it one of the most practical choices in its class. Braking performance comes from a front disc with dual-piston calipers and a rear single disc, supported by standard ABS. The braking system is strong enough for spirited riding but also smooth and forgiving for newer riders. Suspension travel isn't extreme, but it's well calibrated for mixed use, giving you comfort in the city while still holding its own on light gravel or country roads. Another aspect worth mentioning is comfort and ergonomics. The upright seating position is one of the reasons so many people love the NC750X. The handlebars are wide and natural, the seat is plush enough for long-distance rides, and the windscreen does a solid job of deflecting wind at highway speeds. Honda has worked on reducing vibrations, and you really feel that refinement during longer stretches on the road. It's a bike you can ride for hours without feeling beat up, which is not always the case in this middleweight category. Technology has also seen subtle improvements for 2025. The TFT display is bright, easy to read, and customizable. You can cycle through riding modes, fuel consumption data, and other useful metrics. Connectivity options are available, letting you pair your smartphone for navigation and music. Nothing is overly complicated, which fits with the NC's personality. It's functional, not flashy. When it comes to pricing, the NC750X remains one of the best values in the motorcycle world. The 2025 model starts at around $9,500 for the manual version, with the DCT variant coming in closer to $10,300. Considering the blend of practicality, reliability, and versatility you're getting, it's a price that makes a lot of sense. In Europe and other markets, the pricing will vary slightly, but it remains positioned as an affordable entry point into the adventure touring segment. And while competitors may offer more raw power or more high-tech features, very few deliver the same level of everyday usability that the NC750X does at this price point. So, after spending time with the 2025 Honda NC750X, what's the final verdict? This is not a bike designed to blow you away with speed or flashy specs. Instead, it's designed to fit seamlessly into your life. It's the kind of motorcycle that can take you to work every day, handle your weekend road trips, and still leave you smiling when you roll into your garage at night. It's practical, reliable, fuel efficient, and accessible to riders of all skill levels. The styling is modern without being over the top, the engine is refined and smooth, and the dual-clutch transmission continues to be one of Honda's standout innovations. If you're looking for a motorcycle that's easy to live with, versatile enough for a range of riding conditions, and backed by Honda's legendary reputation for reliability, the NC750X should be very high on your list in 2025. It's not the flashiest bike on the road, but for many riders, it might just be the smartest. And sometimes, the smartest choice is the one that makes riding simple, fun, and stress-free. That wraps up our in-depth look at the 2025 Honda NC750X. If you found this review helpful,